Hey, good evening. How is everyone doing today? I'd like to take the time to thank you for tuning in into another Morning Glory Apostolic Prophetic Center video. I am your host, Diedrich Hubbard, and today we're going to talk about it's all the same. It's all the same. And as I was just sitting back and listening to the Spirit of God, I think a lot of us uh, don't value the presence of God in our life. We don't value the revelations that God reveals to us in certain times of our life. And so, because we don't value it, we don't see it of being any importance to us. But one thing I understand about God, that anything God revealed to us is of some value, not only uh, not only to you, but it can be of some value to someone else. So we're going to talk about today is all the same. We're going to be in Matthew chapter 20, and we're going to discuss this. Matthew chapter 20, verse 1 says, "For the kingdom of heaven is like unto a man that is a householder, which went out early in the morning to hire laborers into his vineyard. And when he had agreed with the laborers for a penny a day, he sent them into his vineyard. And he went out about the third hour and saw others standing idle in the marketplace, and said unto them, Go ye also into the vineyard, and whatsoever is right, I will give you. And they went their way." So now we got to understand that if we look at the most of the parables that Jesus often taught, is always about an employee-employer type relationship. So here in verse 20, he's still talking about that the employee-employer mindset, which means many of us that has a job, a lot of times when we it's how we pick our job. Some pick up upon status. Some do it because they like. Some we look at how much money it pays us, and some we just want whatever because we just do it out of desperation. So here it's saying there was a man who had a vineyard, and he went to hire laborers in his vineyard. And it says, when he agreed with the labor for a penny, that he sent them into his vineyard. Now, most of you fail to understand, and I think you actually miss what I say sometimes when I'm teaching or telling one of my testimony. If I bring back to your remembrance, I said God asked me what I wanted, which means a lot of people are in ministry, but they in ministry to themselves because God really hadn't told them, what are you working for? So here, I often say, I told God, I said, well, I want my own revelation. I said, I want my own ministry. And I said, I don't want to get bored. That's what I asked God for. A couple of years later, I had my own ministry. He was giving me all my own revelation, and I don't get bored. So when he agreed to say okay, I went out in the labor. And see what's wrong with a lot of people that's being taught by people. You think because you call that you just go to preaching. No, you can negotiate with God. Tell God what you want if he asks you. But watch what I asked for. I didn't ask for no house. I didn't ask for no car. I don't want to go viral. I ain't want no money. I want to ask for no husband. I want to ask for my wife. Do you notice all three things that I asked for? It was pointed back toward the kingdom. Pointing toward the kingdom. So here, God built me to where I am. But just because I've been working in the vineyard longer than somebody else does not mean I'm more important to the person that I might be mentoring or the person I'm teaching or the person that I'm listening to is. So what's wrong with most church folks? They got a inferior, superior mindset. They think just because the ones behind the pulpit and they've been teaching for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, they think they know everything. No. God calls you in the season you need it. That's why in verse 3 he said he heard out and saw others standing idle in the marketplace. So why? It was people preaching before me. It's people that was teaching me before me. But when he called me in the hour that he needed me, because one of my prayers when I found out I had a call on my life was that, dog, God, why you didn't call me? I wouldn't know. See, he had to call me early. He said, let me call him when I need him. Let me get him ready, because one day y'all gonna need me for right now. So I had to go through that to get ready for now. And that's what he's trying to do for a lot of you, but you're so stubborn. Some of you so stupid. Some of you so selfish that you won't open your eyes up to see, I can't fight God. And you fighting God through you fight him through revelation. You fight him through disobedience. And then you want to get mad at Brother Hubbard because he just called it how he see it. Notice he didn't ask them, was they a felon? He didn't ask them, was they a womanizer? He didn't ask them, was they is there adult? He asked them, do you want to work? See, God only boss that your past that disqualify you for the assignment. In other words, sometimes it helps you. Verse 4, and said unto them, go ye also in the vineyard, and whatsoever right I have given you. And they went their way. And he went out about the 6th and the 9th hours and did likewise. And about the 11th hour, he went out and found others standing idle, and said unto them, why stand ye here all the day idle? So here we see that this man kept going, getting people. See, God trying to get some of y'all to work. Some of y'all agreeing going on, but then it's some of y'all that just sitting idle, which means, oh, I see them going down to the vineyard. I see them preaching. I see them teaching. I see them writing books, but you just standing there looking. You standing there with your strawberry Faygo in your hand. Ooh, that's sure a good revelation. You standing idle. So the question is today, if it's all the same, why you standing idle and refuse? You refusing to acknowledge God is trying to change your life. Refusing to obey instructions of God. See, if God is the head of your life, that means God have a say in every aspect of your life. I ain't just got this bill. This bill ain't grown and since I've been 50 some years. But this year he said let that bill grow. I finally got one. You see that thing coming around and we went and trimmed it up a little bit. He said change your hairstyle. I said, okay, I changed my hair. Even when I sat in the chair earlier, he said, get your mid fade now. Don't get the temp fade. See, so he cut a little bit and then he throw them curls up in there and watch this. He said, boy, they're gonna be looking at you. I said, man, I'm going toward the house. He said, yeah, but they're gonna look at you. See, watch this. How can you obey God in just the point of the life that he want to touch? But you don't want to obey him in every aspect of your life. You know why? Because you understand subconsciously that if I listen to God right here, I got to listen to God right there. But if I listen to him right here and don't listen to him right there, then I lose connection to him because now I'm becoming selfish. God, don't touch me right there. And that's what's wrong with a lot of you. You want God to touch everything but what you love. Oh God, I pray when you tell me to pray. I read the Bible when you want me to read. You know, I do this, but don't touch my money, God. Don't touch my sex life. Don't touch my masturbation. Don't touch my jealousy. It's the area that you refuse to give God control in. It's the area that he's challenged you in the most. Some of y'all would do all you can for people God done told you don't do nothing for. But you don't see yourself doing all you can for God and he telling you in obedience. You know why? Because God is really important to you. See, what's finna happen to some of y'all? Some of you are going to receive what we call reprobated blessings. A reprobated blessing is for people who become delusional in their pursuit of God, which means you're going to get something that you think God answering your prayer, but God just want to show you how delusional you are. See, you can't be disobedient and get something for God. God doesn't reward disobedience. That's why he said obedience is better than sacrifice. So some of you going to get something that you're praying for. And when you accept what you think is a gift of God, and because you prayed for it, that's going to be your judgment from God. Because you're going to say, God answer my prayer. You're going to try to pray to God you're going to try to pray to God how to treat something you got. And guess what? You're going to be talking to yourself because you're delusional. Watch this. And Brother Hubbard just going to be sitting back here just laughing. Because he going to say, the word say he going to give you over to what? Inconvenient. So the way you think you going to have it, that ain't the way you going to have it. So here in verse 7, they give an excuse. He asked him, why you sitting here idle? because no man had hired us. He said unto them, go ye also in the vineyard, and whatsoever is right that ye shall receive. So when even was come, the Lord of the vineyard said unto his steward, call the laborers and give them their hire, beginning from the last until the first. And when they came, they were hired. About the 11th hour, they received every man a penny. But when the first came, they supposed they should have received more, and they likewise received every man a penny. That's so good. Do you know it's all even in God's kingdom? So when people want to call themselves chief apostle, leader, lead this, lead that, that lets me know you ain't working for God's kingdom. Because God kingdom doesn't operate in a hierarchy, it operates in obedience. So a lot of y'all making up excuse not to do the will of God. You want to do the will of God because it challenges your will. Oh yeah. Because some of you so disobedient, he said, let me give him this here and watch what I do to him. See, you can't that you can lie, manipulate, disobey, and think God still gonna bless. That's Satan blessing. See, even in my own state, if I get something and what I got, I can sense enough to know that it ain't God. But because of you want what you want so much, you gonna call it God. And guess what's gonna happen? That's the worst thing. Don't allow your own selfish needs kill you are God. Think they supposed to be more than somebody else. They said, what verse 12 said, they have wrought for 1 hour and they have made them equal unto they got a penny. We've been out for 10 hours. We should have got more. The people that you're around, not that I'm better than you. I got 3 or 4 people way better they understand and get to where they need to be. They're going to always look at me as better than them. I treat everybody the same. I don't care who it is. See, what's wrong with a lot of you, because you insecure, you allow people CEO, they the lead preacher, they chief apostle, they We all the same in God's kingdom. Now, in religion kingdom, you know, you're gonna be the big bishop and everybody else gonna wear the little clothes, the little servant clothes. Ain't nobody gonna have the biggest hat because you got to have the biggest hat, the longest chain, and you got to have the staff. Not over here in Brother Hubbard land, not in God's kingdom. I don't want that mess. I ain't against you. Do it. If you want to look important, look important. But it's sad to look important with no power. I'd rather have power than look important. So verse 13, he says, but he answered